Guys, we are finally back again for another reaction on this here BrBpTV. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. Of course, it's a Saturday edition. Of course, I'm your boy Mr. Lix. Welcome to each and every one of you guys. Let us get into the vibrations right there. Now guys, this video was actually circulating on a number of places, and persons were wondering, why is the little one who passed away, the 13-year-old boy who passed away, why is his school bag, alleged school bag, on the ground, circled by some sort of thing? I think somebody did some marking to probably remind individuals this is where the individual passed away,
my brother.
And there were like vehicles passing over it, and I'm not really sure what they're hoping to achieve from this, but I'm thinking they did this to remind individuals that the young one passed away. So I think that's why they did this, but I think they should have put a sign up somewhere instead of having the bag on the ground there and then circling it and then putting, I guess, what they did. Let me see if I can read it. Okay, can you take this off? Peace. Maybe this is rest in peace. Maybe this is rest in peace to the little one. Maybe they're trying to do a gesture, you know, of remembering the little one who fell. But it was kind of weird that vehicles were passing over it. It's not like vehicles were gonna pass on the side to, you know, disrupt the other flow. It's a two-way lane road, so I guess that's why vehicles were passing over it. But this is around the area where the little one passed away, brothers and sisters. So that's the only thing I could think of. But apparently there was somebody who saw what took place, and this individual is saying the schoolboy got out of the bus and ran across behind the bus. So he did not go in front of it, he ran across behind the bus, and I'm guessing that's where a vehicle was coming, while an oncoming car did not realize he was crossing, and then, you know, collided with the boy right there. So it's rather unfortunate. This is one of the reasons I always tell people to always tell their young ones, look up and down. Since my grandmother, my grandfather back in the day, my aunties, my mother, my father, everybody was telling you when you were growing up, look up and down before you cross the road. Look left and right before you cross the road. Make sure everything is clear before you cross the road. And it seems like, based off what I heard, also I just reiterated this. This is what a witness apparently stating that he saw the boy just, you know, go behind the bus and started crossing the road right there. Look up and down before you cross. And I think maybe a speed bump would be necessary in that region, especially amongst places that there's a secondary road going in. I think you know, when there's secondary roads going in, I think a speed bump should be placed there so that, you know, vehicles can slow down. Maybe if the speed bump was there, things would have been different. But of course, you know, we live and we learn, brothers and sisters. Hopefully we learn. Sometimes we leave things happen and we still don't learn at all, but hopefully we learn in that regard. Anyways, brothers and sisters, moving on right there. Of course, the Prime Minister, I remember when Hector I actually had the interview with him. I'll post this link in the description below so you guys can check it out right there, where I interviewed Hector on the whole scenario involving the young boy from Salisbury. But the Prime Minister made a letter right there. I have been made aware of a tragic passing of a student of the ITSS on the Edward Oliver Libla Highway near the Salisbury Junction this afternoon as a result. So it seems like he made the letter the same day, which is rather interesting. I'll point out something in a while, brothers and sisters. And of course, he's stating his deepest condolences, deepest sympathies are extended to the family of this young student and to his friends and teachers at the ITSS. Well, he mentioned family. Every life lost as a result of, you know, an incident that took place. Tragedies. Tragedies like this is one life too many. I agree. When it is one of the young ones, you know, potential to be great is lost, then the loss is even more keenly and deeply felt. I wish to reiterate the call to all the road users, respect traffic laws, and to exercise caution, prudence, and good sense. I mean, it's good to say these things, it's nice, but what is the action that will be done to help alleviate that? I think what could be done, like I said before, is setting a speed bump in that area. So every time people slow down, they will remember that little one who ended up passing away. So, you know, especially when there's secondary roads in that area. So it's you know, vital that there's a speed bump there. What are your thoughts, guys? Maybe it's just me that thinking this right there. Anyways, he stated, I also call on Dominicans to not use traffic events like this to seek or score cheap political points. I totally denounced the live broadcast on Facebook by the former parliamentary PR for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John, who accused him, SKERRIT, he's saying, of driving past the scene of the accident this afternoon. So apparently, the reason why I'm pointing to, I'll continue reading in a moment, brothers and sisters. So he made this letter in the afternoon, the very same afternoon that the incident occurred. You write this letter, this full letter, great, that's good. Like I indicated, I wanted the Prime Minister to write some letter, maybe stating that it wasn't him, and I think he stated that in the letter. We'll get to that in a moment, brothers and sisters. But the reason why I'm pointing this out right there is the same thing involving the election and electoral process, brothers and sisters, where Dennis Byron apparently sent a letter to SKERRIT, who apparently did not get it on a whole month after. So the letter was sent before the election of 2022. He apparently did not get it, and then a whole month after, he's responding and say, hey guys, I did not see the letter, even though it was all over social media, and to the indication that if it was all over social media, you couldn't call, and because you guys have the channel, direct channel to each other, you couldn't have called the individual and say, hey, what is going on? If you apparently didn't get the letter, you waited a whole month and then come in and say, you know, to score cheap political points. That doesn't make any sense to me, brothers and sisters. We have to be mindful of this kind of things, because when you had when the letter was sent to you, you didn't respond. But you know when to write letters, though. Isn't that looking like it gaining political points? But you pretended not to have received the letter so that you can call elections and then do what you have to do. Huh? Sure, maybe you can wait. Anyways, Hector John, who accused him of driving past the scene of the incident the afternoon when it took place, with no regard for the young one who tragically lost his life. This is absolutely false. He's saying it's not him that was there. The question here is, will the president, if it was the president indeed who was in that vehicle, will the president make a statement for his dirty ways? Because, I mean, it's very clear to read it there that you're saying with no regard for the young boy who tragically lost his life. But there was a vehicle. It was either you or the president, which means it was, you say it's not you, so it's the president. Therefore, will the president be putting up a statement to denounce his dirty ways? Will the president be addressing what he did when he actually just passed the incident with no regard for the young one who tragically lost his life? So will that, this is one of the things that I want to know. Sorry about that, guys, I was really interrupted there. But what is the president going to be putting out a letter? I mean, the prime minister wrote a letter exactly the same day. So where is the president's letter to say, guys, I'm so sorry for my dirty ways? Will the president be addressing the nation? Really? For just, you know, passing the individual, the young boy, with no regard? Is the prime minister going to address that the president did? I have been occupied with matters of state in Roseville for the entire day, after which I proceeded to my home in Mont Daniel at 4 p.m. Oh, okay, so it wasn't okay. Anyways, as a father and a prime minister of the country, I am deeply saddened by this tragedy, and I pledge to the family my full support and that of the government in the most difficult time. Okay, whatever that means, maybe they'll pay for the funeral or something. I don't know if that is the case, but the president, no. Will the president address the nation for his dirty ways? No. Who passed the young boy with no regard? Yes, man. So that'll be a question that we need to know. I think it's vital that the president definitely answers to that, because he passed the young man with no regard at all. He didn't care to stop. They open the gate, you know there's something going on. When you pass in, you could at least stop for 5 seconds and make this sign of the cross and close your hand or something, Makwisa. But he did none of that. Yet still he's the president of the country, and you think that shows that they care for the people? Okay. Alright then. Anyways, guys, talking about Prime Minister SKERRIT. SKERRIT apparently on the whole electoral reform vibes. This is what SKERRIT had to say right there.
Wonderful things happen in the economy, and I would like to put this issue of electoral reform at the back of the country so that we can focus all our energies on everything.
What SKERRIT is saying, I think he was talking about the crowd, but apparently he didn't see the crowd when the crowd grew in the night time. Of course, people who were working on a number of things, obviously people would not come until, you know, a bit later on, and a lot of individuals came in the night. Although I wanted more. I didn't want a few hundred, I wanted a few thousand to be there, because it's electoral reform. But on the end of the day, people, you know, sometimes are scared. I also was told, well, it was announced on stage that they were paying people. Apparently somebody was passing around and paying people not to attend the meetings, and as a result of not attending the meetings, they then sent a drone up to the sky to then say, hey guys, look at what is going on there, look at that, look at that, you know. But the crowd did full up a bit though, from the you guys saw it on my video. But it's not about crowd, brothers and sisters. It's not about crowd at the end of the day, because look, when was the proper campaign going on between UWP and Labour rallies, UWP had more people than the DLP rallies. They had more. It's clear, it's very clear as they like to see when they had the different rallies. But, you know, through, you know, the electoral system that is flawed, then obviously they ended up winning again. They ended up winning again, brothers and sisters. So it's not about crowd. But it's still at the end of the day that people still going back to vote for these people. The man want to put this thing on the back burner. That is what you want to do when you already announced to the people that in 2019, after elections, 100 days, electoral reform will come. You see all the lies they just tell people, and then you want us to believe whatever the Prime Minister is saying is true. They said that international airport gonna be after 2014 as soon as they win elections. Lie that! 2014 international airport don't even reach. Boy, hey, they claim land to do what? God knows what. Some of us believe it's washing money there, so they're going to try to prolong it as long as possible. And then maybe they'll build the international airport afterwards. Remember, it moved from $300 million for free projects, brothers and sisters, to $1 billion, to 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars for one project, the international airport. Really? Where in the Caribbean, you know, an airport costs $1 billion, brothers and sisters? Let me know. Let me know where in the Caribbean an international airport costs $1 billion. You will tell me, especially for the airport, especially for the type of international airport they're trying to build there. It's not going to have a set of gates, you know, brothers and sisters. It's going to have probably 1 or 2 gates, maybe 3 gates, if all that. Maybe. And $1 billion plus for international airport. Okay, Papa. All right then.
You know, so and by the turnout you can see that the American people are not interested in what they're saying, because.
So why would people paying people? Why do they tend to come and take pictures of people to try to intimidate people? And then sometimes they see people in the rallies and they come to them and they talk. Yes, I know. Some people have reached out to me saying that they have come and spoken to them, tell them they shouldn't be in rallies. they come and tell them they shouldn't be there. They say, well, just listening. They say you shouldn't be there. Tell them they shouldn't be there. Because they're looking at numbers, it's very clear.
By the turnout, you can see that the American people are not interested in what.
After you try to victimize and do all sorts of things to people who are then scared, they're not supporting you, you know. That's the thing that I always tell people, you know. Just because you are quiet, there's somebody I know always talking. I say, where are you when there are rallies and protests? Where are you? Where are you? You know where to be seen. But you talking the good talk, man. We like to blah, just talk. Where are you when there are protests and they're asking you guys to come forth? What were the people of Wesley? They haven't paid a number of them for their houses yet. You still seen them doing work around the house. But are you not there when the workers went to Wesley to side with all you? So at least you get paid. The workers better never go back Wesley. Let them suffer for themselves because they never showed up. They never show up for what is for the fight for what is their own way. Hey, some things in life just bizarre, man. But the fact that the Prime Minister is saying they want to put the electoral process, even though CCJ, the APEC court says that election shouldn't happen without with these taints. There's a lot of taints that should not be in election. OAS came down and say, guys, there should not be another election since there was a record-breaking low voter turnout as a result of the other team pulling out. About 30% voters showed up. 30%. 25 to 30%. So it's interesting, brothers and sisters. They saw this and they say, yes, an election should not happen without electoral reform. What are they going to do? They're going to kill time again? They're going to kill time again until elections come again and they say, we tried our best, but we had other pressing matters to handle. When the key factor for free and fair elections is based off the very thing that the Prime Minister is saying.
At the back of the country so that we can focus.
They want to put electoral reform at the back of the country. Since 2019, they say they want to give electoral reform. How often? It's a bizarre world, man. It's a very, very bizarre world, man. Anyways, guys, moving along right there. Talking about the bizarre world. I saw this yesterday, brothers and sisters. So apparently, what you're seeing right there, brothers and sisters, is two individuals in the matter of Colonel, who was found lifeless. Two individuals have been collected. Let me zoom in on that. So this is one right there, and I know this guy. I know this guy. I remember when he was changing, man. It was very sad right there, but hey. And then there's this guy right there, the ex-husband apparently. So these are the two guys that have been collected. This guy and this guy. And there's an audio that has gone out with the alleged an individual making his alleged statements on what could have transpired or what did transpire. The police came and picked them up.
Yeah, the man was 18, so the man digging out to try saying.
Oh, so he's saying that she reached 18 and she realized, hey, I need to leave this place. My first question was, why was she even staying with the ex-husband in the first place? Her mother's ex-husband. Why was she staying with her mother's ex-husband in the first place? Then people were saying that the mother was saying that her child is the child of the ex-husband. That is some kind of strange vibes, boy. But then again, not really, because they're not related. But that's your mother's ex-husband, though. And you went and have a child with, I don't know what's going on. And then look at the time, she's 18 now. The little one is 1 year and thing, which most likely she was about 16 and 2 months. She was about 16 and 2 months, which of course is age of consent. But I mean, Magwesa, come on. Why? There's so much lonely women out there. Some are pretending they're not lonely, but when you watch them, you can see they're lonely. And he decided to go behind his 16 years and 2 months, based on when the baby is born. The baby is 10 months, it's around there. If she just got 18, then if she was 18 and something, then maybe 16 years and some months. But it's clearly she was definitely 16 years.
Packing her clothes and everything to go. And Remington see that. So Remington calling him at his workplace and telling him, look, the woman digging out.
So she was collecting her clothes and everything to roll out, and Remington saw her, from what his statements is alleged. Remington allegedly saw her and decided to call the ex-husband guy.
So Mr. herself now calling Remington and telling Remington, hold the woman and take a check.
So the ex-husband telling Remington to hold her. Interesting. She's 18. She's not on the... You have no jurisdiction whatsoever.
Man will leave man a dog. When little girl in a barrel. I can't wait until the man come and work, which is how much hours.
So apparently, it's alleged that Remington took her, held her, and put her in the barrel that we saw. And must have closed the barrel, and as a result of closing the barrel, she must have... Man, why humans wicked like that?
So she may be suffocated or die in the barrel, or if she do suffocate in the barrel, I don't know. Next thing, when Mr. come, Mr. taking the woman, he and Remington put the woman in the jeep and go up by the hospital with the woman, and then do what they have to do with the man and chop on the woman.
Why? Boy, I tell you, boy. The great book says the heart of man is deceitfully above all, desperately wicked, you know. But that is, boy, you mad.
Check. Mr. and Remington, but you see them man do easy, boy, dog.
But I remember the Remington guy himself. I remember how he was back then, always trying to see how he can elevate and do things and whatnot. But I guess the economy weighed him down. I remember to the point where he was changing. He used to be vibrant, you know, speaking vibrant from my understanding. Speaking vibrant, you know, and you know. And I remember he started to change, man. I don't know if this is the pressure of the economy or life that weigh him down, man. Sometimes when you talk to him, back in the day, he would give you a full conversation, laugh and this kind of things, blah, blah, blah. And then when you started talking to him recently, you know, you just one word answers he would give, and this, you know, nothing, you know. Just you just surviving, guys. This is why I always tell people, especially men out there, find your purpose. Find your purpose in this life, eh? Because if you don't have a purpose, brothers and sisters, this is one of the things that men and women differentiate from. A woman's purpose is driven in family, biologically speaking, brothers and sisters. Some people want to stray from that, that's fine. But biologically speaking, a woman is her creation comes from family, you know, making children and all those kind of things there. A man's creation comes from creating the environment that which people can thrive. This is why the world has been built by men, for creation being creative, and the world within it itself in the human cognition has been created by women. Therefore, there's a balance out there. Yin and yang must happen, brothers and sisters, for the continuation and the furtherance of life. But if as a man, you have no idea what your purpose is, my way, sir, woe be unto humankind, not just mankind, you know, not just man, you know, brothers and sisters, but woe be unto man and woman who never knew what their purpose was from the day that they were born and died not having known that. That is a heck of a thing, eh? To live this life and have no idea what you were created for. And you could see that in the man. The man is like he just fading away. I don't know. That's what I observed. But now it's alleged that he's involved in this thing, based off the story that is being given.
You see them man do easy, dog. That I doesn't trust man around children, you know, dog. You see them kind of magic there. I don't even know. They put them man in the transport I checking, but personal people say really weak and terrible, you know, dog. You're supposed to just execute them man on the site and finish with that.
Well, when it comes down to that, I wouldn't advocate. Leave that for the law to do, brothers and sisters. This is one of the reasons why a number of persons are saying that they need to bring back the death penalty, and I agree. I mean, when you willfully do something, I mean, circumstances could create certain outcomes and this kind of things. But when you willfully do something, especially when your back is not against the wall, and you take somebody's life, I believe that should be brought back in, man. I believe so. Because in places that have that active, brothers and sisters, the crime rate is much less, especially when it comes down to ending people's lives. This is one of the reasons why I believe in fighting. I don't believe in weapons, brother and sister. I believe in fighting. I don't believe in weapons. You fight it out with each other. Hey, okay, boop, boop, boop. All right. You get it out of your system and you move on, brothers and sisters. But when you end somebody's life using weapons, that thing not just stays on your conscience, but you as a person will be guilty in front of the courts and sentenced to probably life inside jail. To do what? It's a heck of a thing, like I said before, to not know your purpose. But if you knew your purpose and you end up inside there, you just waste yourself. You just waste yourself, brothers and sisters.
But anyway, Posse we staying, boy. Boy, the man do easy now, boy, dog. A bunch of weird kind of fellas around the place, boy. Kind of.
Hey, guys, the Posse I grew up knowing and the kind of people that were around, they had their head on. But it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's society, but then again, you tend to see this across the spectrum, not just in Dominica, but in places where poverty is rising, there's a lot of people who are affected mentally by it. There's a lot of people who are affected mentally by it, brothers and sisters. This is one of the reasons why a number of persons, when they look at Dominica and the poverty, Dominica fell from grace, and they think that the people in it are not proper upstairs. This is why you have a brain drain, brothers and sisters. Some people, a young fellow was telling me, but Mr. Lake, but if I leave, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna be there to at least elevate? I say, bro, leave and come back. That is the best thing you can do, because at the present state in Dominica is not conducive for young people to make it. It's not. It's sad for me to say these things, but it's true. That is what they have created, with the insight for them to be fused with the World Economic Forum thing. That's what they're doing. Depleting the economy. That's why you ask yourself, where are the factories and all these things that can be put in place to actually help Dominica? And it's a must to help. It's not maybe, it's a must. Because Dominica is an agricultural nation. Interesting that they put agriculture in back burner to put tourism, and tourism is the last card in the Caribbean, might be sickly. The last. But they put in things there to make you think that, hey, things are happening, but they're not doing the right set of things to actually create surplus in the place. And people sit down there.
Sick kind of fellas, but imagine I see them man all the time they fixing the transport on the other side there, boy. Postman people actually let me stand them leave with.
Yeah, like I said, this should be handled by the courts. Somebody do. I don't know if somebody do my family, I catch you. You will leave, you know. But you might end up with some broken foot or broken body. Let me not incriminate myself. Anyways, brothers and sisters, it's very unfortunate that two young men are now going behind bars for what? Things that they could have avoided. Did these young men grow up with their fathers? That's one of the things I always ask myself. Because it seems like these guys just go off a whim. Is she leaving? I don't like that. So I go off my feelings, man. Anyways, brothers and sisters, how many of your thoughts in that regard right there? There's something I saw yesterday. I was told that it was World Milk Day. Happy World Milk Day, brothers and sisters. And they're talking about cow milk. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something now. This is in St. John's School, I believe it is. Yes, brothers and sisters, cow milk was not made for humans to drink. Cow milk was made for the baby calf to grow into the monstrosity that it is. So all the hormones and these things that is found in the milk, the pasteurized or whatever, is still not good. This is why people are called lactose intolerant. Human beings should not be lactose intolerant. We should get the right set of milk for us to drink. You have coconut milk, you have almond milk, you have a number of these things where you can drink. Cow milk was not made for human beings to drink. Cow milk was as a subsidies for humans to think, and they boil it and stuff to make it, and it tasted nice, and start drinking it, brothers and sisters. They are advertising things that they should not be advertising. Yes, get the carnation milk, we drink it, true, but it's not for humans to drink. And anyways, guys, everybody have thoughts right there in this regard. Right there on this whole reaction vibes. I just thought I'd put this information out there for you guys to see. Happy World Milk Day. Nah, man, born that human beings should not drink milk, and some of these kind of things that they drink in there creates inflammation in the human body. Yes, they talk about calcium. Yes, it has calcium, true, but it's not for humans to drink. I know when I used to drink these things, every time my thing used to make some kind of froth. Every time I drink milk. I'm not lactose intolerant, you know, brothers and sisters. But every time, you know, People getting all kind of things from milk. It is not for human beings to drink, whether it's in a magnitude where it's visible to see the effects or it's minimum. Milk creates inflammation in the human body. Inflammation creates mucus. Mucus creates sickness, brothers and sisters. The root of every disease known to man is caused from mucus. But of course, you don't have to listen to me. What I know is the doctor now. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts right there. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. This is your boy Mr. Licks on this here BrBpTV. Be real. Be positive, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Subscribe and turn on that post notifications for to get more vibrations as it tend to come through, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And we are closing off this Saturday edition. Be real. Be positive.